Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. You might have recognised this picture. I did work on this a little bit on my channel. I think I added the gold detailing and some of the blue, I do believe. I'll just move it in the light. And this is Seasons by Hannah Calzon. Now, I did class this page as finished and I've closed the book and put it on my pile of finished pages. But I want to add a background. Even if it's just something, I want to add a background. So I've pulled out the Inktense blocks that I've popped in this palette, and I can activate it now. The metallic paint pan set, even though it's just one, it's just a tester, and that's what I use for the gold detailing. So I can activate this now. Some water and just leave that there for a minute. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what I want this to be. I've got a little bit of an idea. So I've got a size 6 and a size 4 brush. Let's get these wet, and I've forgot the cloth. There we go. So I'll work at the top, I think, and then bring the colour up. Now I do want to be careful with the gold because I don't know how that is going to react, because that was one of the first times that I used it, and I've not tried to put water over the top to see if it would activate again. So yeah, this is all going to be a bit of trial and error. I've pre-wet these colours, but now that I'm looking at it, I need a little bit more water because I do want it quite watered down. I'm not necessarily using all these colours that I'm wetting, but I just want to get them ready just in case I decide to. So I want to use this one. And this might end up being a complete and utter disaster because I only do this technique with watercolour, so it'll be interesting. Now I am going to have to turn the book, just move everything out of the way, and load my brush up again and start filling in. If you've got an idea in your head, just do it. There's no point in worrying about it. If I go over the lines a little bit, hey ho. Maybe I should be using a smaller brush. But it's all art, it's meant to be fun at the end of the day. And that's what I treat it as. So I just want to pull this colour up. I am going to switch to a smaller brush in saying that. Load the brush, the colour up again. And just try to not get on the actual illustration. But I'm not too worried if it gets on. The thing with these blocks, you see the dots that I'm creating, they do actually dry like that. Whoops, they do actually dry like that. So it'll be interesting to see what this turns out like. So I want to add plenty of water to these areas. Clean my brush off completely. Just try and blend this out a little bit. And while this is still wet, go in with the darker colour. That's not dark enough. What about this one? That's a little bit better. Clean my brush off, blend all them edges out. Now the paper in the Hannah Calzon books are usually absolutely fine for any sort of water, so I can be, you know, quite messy here. Now is that gold ready? Let's have a see. Just random areas I want to plump this. Clean my brush off again. I'll spread it out. Let's get this very corner bit. I'll pull that down as well. Clean brush. I've just dumped my finger right into it there. So a little bit more of this greeny one. That sort of looks a little bit like marbling. And then more of the gold. And then just leave that and see how that actually dries. Now instead of doing the same thing, and then I want to do the opposite, like move up here then come down a bit. I'll use different shades this time, so it's a lighter green. Oh, it matches that one perfectly. I didn't do that intentionally, but that's cool when it does happen. Clean my brush off. And the darker shade. So these are just Inktense blocks that I have broken up and popped in this palette just to make them that little bit easier to use. And then pop a little bit of that gold in there. Now I can turn it back round now. And I'll do a similar thing, but maybe coming off the page here actually. Let me get on the plastic sheets that I like to use. Put it behind here. Let's say here. Let's try this. More water. More water. That's really pigmented. And then some of the green. It's just sort of messing around with the colours until you're happy with the end result. Clean brush again. Just go around the edges. Oh, my video's finished. I'm on a roll today, I'm feeling very productive. And some of that darker one again. And then some of the gold, I think. It's just a little something so it's not a white, boring background. And I'm not going around all the edges, so it's not going to take me forever and a day. Right, with this one, I'll try on the wet on wet with the block. So I'll pop the colour down there. Oh, that looks better. Why didn't I do that at the start? Why am I tutting? 34-year-old still tutting. But popping that colour down wherever I see fit. It's leaving it for a minute and then going back with other colours, and it's just messing around with it until you know you're happy with the final result. And I will come back once it's completely dry. Let's try this darker green actually. Yeah, so it's just messing around with it until you find the colours that go together and you're happy with it. And it will dry differently, this as well. It'll look different once it's dry. So let's add plenty of the gold. So that's bleeding out beautifully there. I need to invest in these ones. I still haven't ordered them. Now unfortunately that probably is going to go on to the other side, because I can see already that it is doing. I must have put a little bit too much water on there. So I'm going to leave this be. Not mess with it, just completely leave it here, let it dry naturally, and then come back and show you the final result. So I think I'm quite happy now with how dry this is. Let me just take this off because I want to check the pages behind, and they seem fine, no bleed through or anything. So that is an easy way of just getting rid of some of the white on that background. That gold is so pretty. I'm sure I said this last time. and I still didn't order it. But it reminds me of like a marble effect, actually. I think that's what I'll call this video. A marble effect background, easy background, because it is easy. Just a couple of colours. And the most important thing is just have fun with it. Have fun and don't worry too much. But thank you so much for watching. Please do subscribe if you're new and leave me a thumbs up. It does really, really help my channel. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.